Good morning, everyone. My name is LiShaina Winborn, and I would like to talk to you today about cloning, and I would like to set the record straight about some things. What exactly is cloning? Cloning is simply making an identical copy of something. That's it. That's simple. Most people, when they hear the word cloning, they think of some off the wall things, such as some kind of mutated animal, such as a bird horse or horse bird, whichever you prefer, like in the picture that I'm showing you now. And that is not the case. Cloning is much more than that. It's much more beneficial and informative. There are different types of cloning. There's molecular cloning, which is known as gene cloning. There's organism cloning, which is known as reproductive cloning. And there's therapeutic cloning. Now, my all-time two favorite types of cloning is molecular cloning and organism cloning. Now I will tell you what these types of clonings do. Molecular cloning, it focuses on making identical copies of DNA and DNA molecules. Organism cloning involves making identical copies of an entire organism. And therapeutic cloning involves the cloning of human embryos for the production of stem cells. The embryos are eventually destroyed in the process. That's why I really don't like this type of cloning. Now we'll go into molecular cloning and tell you the process of this. Excuse me. Molecular cloning is a way of studying the specific proteins involved in cell division. When a gene is mutated, it changes its instruction. Once it is created, the mutated gene then is incorporated into a cell's DNA. The cell replicates and then creates many cells, and which then creates a mutant gene. Now, the changed cells can be compared to the normal cells. Pretty cool, huh? Now I would like to talk to you about organism cloning. This is my favorite type of cloning of all. I consider this my favorite type of cloning because I love children. And the fact that I may not be able to have kids, that's a scary thought. But I'm blessed with a child already. And the fact that they have organism cloning for women is amazing to me. So now I will tell you the process of organism cloning. It's kind of different from any other type of cloning, but it's very interesting. Most people may have heard of organism cloning, but were unaware that the process was called organism cloning. Once I tell you the process, you may see what I mean. In order to clone an organism, you have to have a somatic cell donor, an egg cell donor, and a surrogate mother. First, you take the cumulus cell from the somatic cell donor and place it in a petri dish. Then the same is done with the egg cell. Next, the nucleus is removed from the egg cell and put in another petri dish. Now you put the cumulus cell and the egg cell's nucleus in a separate petri dish with a morula for 1 to 6 hours to develop. It is then put in the womb of the surrogate mother and impregnates her. When the child is born, the child will have the same genetic makeup as the somatic cell donor because that donor provided the DNA for the offspring. This is by far my favorite type of cloning because the fact that a surrogate mother can carry the child of another mother who is unable to bear children is a blessing to me. Most people think that cloning is very crazy. Most people panic when they hear that things are being cloned, but it's just because they don't have an understanding of it all. With cloning, it can be very beneficial. It is believed to decrease organ limitations and is believed to cure diseases. And in my all-time favorite, it is considered a blessing to me. And this is a picture of a family who did organism cloning, and now they're with their surrogate mother. And in this picture, she is 8 months pregnant and almost ready to deliver their newborn child. See, a blessing. Thank you very much.